Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select two or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 35 of Free Terrible Gamers. I'm your host Colin, here with Ashton as always.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Alright, I was too lazy to research topics, so I'm just continuing what Ashton done, but I picked out a few topics if we get to them, but it shouldn't be like the last 2 weeks where we only talk about one or two topics. We should be able to hit about everywhere today. So we're going to start off with uh, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is reportedly being made into a remaster.
Yeah, so this came, I guess, last week, as Colin said, but the leaker has said that it will be coming very soon. So what that means, I don't know. It could be next week, it could be next year. I don't know what they mean by very soon. But I've said it before about Nintendo just remastering the GameCube. It makes a lot of sense just to give those a little graphical boost. Example is Metroid Prime Remaster. Just give it a little graphical boost because they're new enough to just put a fresh coat of paint on and sell them for $40 to $60, and they'll sell. Paper Mario, that'd be a good one to do $60 because it's a very popular and arguably the best Paper Mario game ever made. So people would pay $60 for it and pay $60 for it again, I should say. Um, But yeah, not much to say. And because the art style is cartoony and it's aged really well, kind of like Wind Waker, it's cartoony, so it's aged pretty well. It looks pretty good to be what it is.
Yeah, it falls in line with the whole entire remaster thing with, like you said, it coming out on the GameCube. Initially, my mind before doing the research on it, I was thinking it was the one that came out on the Game Boy Advance. So in my mind, I'm just like, why in the world would they remaster it instead of throwing it on the expansion pass? But after doing the research and figuring out, oh yeah, the GameCube is when this one came out, not the Game Boy Advance. So that makes sense. And the original copies are set for a lot more than what they were back in the day.
Over a hundred
If you
dollars.
still, yeah, DK Oldies I think has it for like 140, and if you go try to buy it on Amazon, it's going to be $380.
Yeah, it's crazy for a GameCube game, which I like collecting GameCube games, so I can't really say a whole lot. But if it comes between paying $100 for a game or emulating the same game, I'm going to emulate it for free. Sorry,
That's
Nintendo.
right.
I mean, they've already seen their money from it. I'm not paying them anymore. I'm paying a fan that's already bought it. So I mean, I don't feel bad for emulating it.
No, and I mean the fact that it is such a, I mean it's 20, not it's 19 years old at this point, so it's it's definitely seen its day. Like you said, is arguably the best. I think it is the best selling
I think
Paper
so.
Mario.
I think so.
I don't think it's quite rated the best. I think the rated the best wound up being the original
On the
for the
Nintendo 64,
64. Right.
probably. But people say like the fan base says that Thousand Year Doors. their
Oh
favorite.
yeah, no, I definitely know the fan base says that, but I'm just saying his
Right,
overall
right.
rating,
Critic wise, yeah.
original best.
Yeah.
But I think this one does have the best story out of all of them, from what I've heard. Like I said, not a huge RGP or RPG person. There we go.
Me either. Uh
I'm over here talking propel grenades
right.
instead of role playing games.
But you was talking about remastering a Game Boy game. Technically, it's they just did that with Advance Wars 1 and 2. They were Game Boy Advance games and they remastered them for the Switch, so like don't put it past Nintendo to do it instead of just putting it on the new GBA on Nintendo Switch Online. They just made a remaster for it.
Yeah, I mean, at that point they would technically with the expansion pass if you don't already have the expansion pass. So if you do have the expansion pass, they're not making no money out of it anyways. They just added on as a extra perk of having the expansion pass.
Right. Have you played Advance Wars?
I never did play them when we had the original Game Boy Advances.
So it looks like I've never played them either, but it reminds me. You remember Raft Wars on Miniclip? Did you
Yeah,
ever play it? It kind of reminds me of that. You shoot once and then the other team shoots. Kind of like an RPG, but Raft Wars was a fun. If you're going to consider that an RPG, it was a fun RPG.
you ever asked me if we played if I played Raft Wars, what we would. We played them at Mama's house all the time.
I don't remember. I know we played another game at Momo's all the time. What was it? Predator
Oh,
Wars.
oh
Predator
yeah,
Wars. Yeah. Chuck Norris is the final boss.
yeah. All right. Moving on, Nintendo Live event is
Or
scheduled for later this year.
Territory Wars. That's what it was. All right. Yeah. Nintendo Live event is scheduled for later this year in Seattle. It's this is the first time that it will be in the United States. Actually, the first time it'll be anywhere but Japan. Um, but Nintendo did announce it. Nintendo Live 2023, an in-person event for fans of all ages that will take place in Seattle in September. It says experience Nintendo Switch gameplay, live stage performances, tournaments, photo ops, and more. Stay tuned with more details, and it has the link which I can put in the description of the episode if anybody's interested. Just you can click on it, sign up there. But I've never heard of these before, but they have had them, like I said, just in Japan. It sounds like basically an E3 event, just a Nintendo E3 event. You have games set up, tournaments, live performance. I don't know if they do like Mario plays or whatever they do, but it sounds pretty cool. And if it was closer, I might consider going, but I'm not going to Seattle just to go to it.
No, but if you live in an area, more than likely you definitely want to be more likely to go to it if we even have an audience out there yet. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the photo booths and everything set up are going to have like the people dressed up as Mario and Luigi and so on and so forth.
right. Link, Zelda, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all the main characters. I mean, I say definitely Zelda will be there. I mean, Link
Yeah.
and Zelda
Tears of the
with
Kingdom.
Here's the Kingdom being released this year,
Yeah.
especially since what September is when it comes out. So at that point, Breath of the Wild will be out for 4 months.
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom. Still so used to calling it Breath of the Wild too.
I
So
know. It's hard to go to it. Yeah.
until I get it in my hand and start playing it, that's what I'm just going to call it pretty much.
Less than a
Unless the
month.
notes are right. Yeah,
I'm
May
excited.
12th.
Amazon better not
Uh,
screw it up either. It better be here release day.
better not fumble with all the pre-orders.
Yeah, I've had them do that before. I've had most of their games come on release day, but I've had them screw it up too.
Yeah, let's hope not. But I'll probably just do a DLC that way. I'm guaranteed to get it.
Yeah, You can do the voucher,
That's what I plan on doing because if I'm going to pay $70 for it, I may as well go ahead and get a $30 value. We can get another $60 game out of it.
right?
All right. Mega Man Battle Network collection ratings.
All right. As of the time that I've done the research, which is last week, it could change by now. Volume 1 on the collection has an 80 critic review with 4 positive and 0 mixed and 0 negative. Volume 2 also has an 80 critic review with 4 positive, 0 mixed, and 0 negative.
Guess we got ours from. I think mine was a general overall thing because mine was a overall of the two combined.
Aw.
It was a 77 on Metacritic, a 79 on OpenCritic, and a 9 out of 10 on Nintendo Life. Nintendo Life, yet again, giving a 9 out of 10 for any game, it seems
It
like.
does. They love all anything. I mean, on the Nintendo Switch, really,
They remind me of like the dentist commercials. 9 out of 10 dentist approved. 9 out of
right,
10 Nintendo people approved
right.
every time.
I love watching them because they just get in the games and stuff. They're funny to watch.
Yeah. So as always, Nintendo Life comes in at 9 out of 10, skyrocketing above everybody else.
I think they're just
Oh yeah,
happy
we're
people over
below
there.
8, and here we are. We're going to go one whole 10% above these people.
I don't know. Mine was just Metacritic, so that could be the difference there. I searched them up separate on Metacritic, but Mega Man has a huge fan base. I've personally never
Oh yeah.
played them. I know you said you have, but those are games I need to get into because people say they're just complete great classics of games to experience. So I need to get into them. I just haven't.
I mean, I won't say that they're a great game. I mean, they're challenging. They're the old school play style games where you would expect it to be hard.
Yeah,
I've never beat one, but I mean, I played it.
right. And he's
And I'm
in
the type of person, if I don't beat it, I'll enjoy playing it that well.
the only Mega Man I've played is in Super Smash Brothers.
I mean, that's not really close enough. That's a little bit easier.
Well, I mean, where he's in there as a character.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know what you meant.
Oh,
I'm just saying, it's still nowhere near the difficulty level.
oh no, I know Mega Man. They say it's tough.
Yeah. Like I said, I still give my condolences to the guy that beat all three, and at the same time,
That I don't know how you could do that.
yeah, that's a speedrunner too. He speedrun speedran all three games at one time. Like the original three, Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, he simultaneously beat all three of them at one time.
I wish I was that talented to play 3 games at once, speed run 3 games at once. I can't even speed run one game. I probably could if I practiced, but
Exactly. I mean, that's usually how they get that
oh
good at
yeah.
it.
I mean, when I was younger, man, I played games all the time. I probably could have. I knew games. Like I go back and play games now, and I'm a better gamer than I was back then. Just I played the games all the time when I was younger, so I was like I was better at this game when I was younger, but it's just I played them all the time. I knew every ins and outs of the game back then.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a natural thing. The more you play it, the more you're going to be in and out. But now you got the focus, I should say, of an adult opposed to a kid to be able to be like, okay, I'm better at doing this certain task.
Right.
Well, I'm not necessarily as good as trying to break the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you come into it with a different mindset than you did when you was a kid. You think different. Even playing the same game, I try to come into the mindset of when I was little. I come into it a whole different mindset than I did. Not that I
Mm.
don't enjoy the games, it's just different mindset. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just general overall changing how you play. I mean, since we were kids, games have changed too. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily just us.
Right.
Like I
All
said, even
gaming's
if you look
changed a
together,
lot.
I mean, shoot, when we started out, online gaming pretty much, well, it didn't exist. Because what, it did true online gaming didn't come out until what, the 360 era? Xbox flirted with for a little bit right when it released, or right after it released.
Yeah, well, we didn't have the original Xbox. The first online console I had was the 360. I mean, yeah, GameCube had like two games and you had to have the broadband adapter, but nobody had it. So 360 and PS3 and Wii era was the
Yeah,
first true online
yeah.
systems, which not a lot of people knew the Wii could play online.
Yeah, it
Nobody
could.
used it.
It
Yeah, it
just,
could. I have. I've played Black Ops 1 online. It's not the best experience, but I mean, you don't lag, but just playing Black Ops 1 with a Wii remote's not a great experience. I mean, it works, it gets the job done, but Xbox 360 controller's a whole lot better.
I would have definitely liked, I had the good old DSL. I think, no, I think when we first had the Wii, we still had dial up. And then it switched over to DSL shortly after. It was still slow and laggy because Frontier.
These kids don't know what either one of those terms mean. Dial up or DSL, they don't know what that is.
We're old.
I don't know. That's the old style internet. It was junk. It was good for back then,
Very, yeah.
though. I mean, it got the job done. I mean, it was the
Oh,
fastest
yeah.
around, so you didn't know any better.
Exactly.
Today it would be
But I mean,
completely
I guess
unacceptable.
as you say, we are technically the generation that grew up with the internet all through all stages of life.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back on the topics, Nintendo Switch Online games releasing for April 2023.
Yeah, so they added four new Sega Genesis games. Pulse Man, I believe one was Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition, Kid Chameleon, and Flicky. Most of those games, if not all, are completely loved by Sega Genesis fans. But me, the only one I ever played was Street Fighter 2. But, I mean, I played Genesis some because my stepmom had one, but I mostly played the Sonic games on it. And I played Echo the Dolphin on it if I wasn't playing the Sonic games. So, which Echo the Dolphin, I couldn't really, I don't know, I didn't know what to do in that game. I just swam around back and forth, but
Yeah, it was the thing I really done in it.
yeah, I mean, I didn't
I
know
still
the
only do.
yeah,
I
I
can't
didn't
stand
know
it.
the whole purpose of the game, so I just swam around, going around as a dolphin. But yeah, I mostly played Sonic games, so those games, the only one I played was Street Fighter 2. Flicky kind of looks interesting. You're a bird and you try to get these several different baby birds or chicks away from tigers or cats and out to exit doors. It's a cool concept, I guess. I mean, I might try it sometime, but yeah.
Only time I really played anything Genesis wise that wasn't Sonic, and it was always the at the orthodontist because they had a Sega cabinet in their office. So anytime I was waiting for an appointment, I would go over there and me and Colby would play on the. It was pretty much just the Genesis, but they had a little bit more game options than just the Genesis. But
No.
I would stick to the Genesis games because I didn't have a Genesis, and I don't think anyone in the household had a Genesis, so not really one of my thing. Yeah, new Sonic, new. I
Right.
think the Genesis I had, I'll put air quotes on it, was one of those mini controllers that you plugged into your TV, and then it had like a select amount of games that you could play, like 2 or 3 of them.
Right. Yeah,
But
I
that was
had one
pretty
of
much
those
all.
too. But uh, yeah, Elizabeth, she actually had an actual Sega Genesis that I played. But personally, I don't have an actual Genesis. I have a mini version, but I don't have an actual full size original Genesis.
Nah, neither do I. Never think to add to the collection.
Yeah, I need to get one. I need to get a lot of consoles for the collection. I have a lot, but I need a lot more than I have.
It's definitely a lifestyle choice.
And it's an expensive one. Getting more expensive as the years go on for retro games.
That's, that's true. I just like how we said at the first topic, literally $380 for a game that's 19 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Speaking of a game that's a little bit newer and it's still yet to come out, Diablo 4 beta has been announced.
Yeah, so my source I got was IGN. Diablo 4 beta server slam will be from May 12th to the 14th. Unfortunately, players who participated in the first 2 beta weekends will find their characters deleted, as promised, and progress made in this final test will also not carry over to the final game. So that point there, kind of interesting because I remember playing beta games of like Black Ops 3 and my progress carried over to the final version. And like the 2K preludes, they carried over to the final game. So it's kind of interesting for me to have a beta game that doesn't carry over to the final game. It's kind of weird. But uh, I guess it makes sense in a way, but it says during this final beta weekend, players will max out at level 20 instead of 25, designed as an extra challenge for when they confront the world boss, a Shava, who will award all who defeat her during the server slam with an exclusive cosmetic mount in the full game. So that's all I had on that. I just thought it was interesting for progress not to carry over to the final game.
Progress doesn't carry over, but you get this little decorative statue thingy majigger in your home screen.
Yeah,
Basically, is what they're
yeah,
saying.
yeah. I mean, I'd rather have my full progress personally, but I mean, you do you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you figure they should be able to do it like everybody else, but the fact that they're not a game that releases every single year, I guess it would make more sense in a way for them not to do that.
Yeah, I
Because I
get.
think they're pushing 20 years old now.
Yeah,
So the fact being that this is the fourth one, it's they don't like I said, they don't release every single year. So a 2K or a Black Ops would be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. We got this down pat. While Diablo don't have as much experience in the beta world as what they would have.
that's true. But they do have more time to work on in between games than 2K or Call of
Oh
Duty.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a slap in the face to the players that play it all the time because
Yeah,
why? I mean, yeah, you get to test out the game before it goes. You get to see how it's going to act, but at the same time, what is it to you other than just getting an early playthrough? Because you don't get no progression.
yeah. I mean, you don't
It's
really
not.
get anything except for the cosmetic mount, whatever that is. So I mean, kind of pointless to me. I mean, unless you just want to try out the game before it releases, then you go ahead. But kind of pointless in my opinion if you don't get really any true reward for it.
We'll see how many people actually baited it up since really Breath of the Wild releases on the first day of it. I
Yeah.
mean, Tears of the Kingdom. My goodness, how many times am I going to do this podcast?
Yeah, good luck to Diablo 4. I'd say most people are going to be playing Tears of the Kingdom, but we'll see, I guess.
Well,
Maybe.
Ashton will be
Oh, I'm going to
if
be.
Amazon.
They better not screw it up, or I'm going to drop my affiliate link with them.
So yeah, if you guys decide not to get Tears of the Kingdom, there we go. Uh, the
Breath
beta
of the
will be
Wild.
there to play. Yeah, it's a river.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a creek.
Free Epic Games for the 27th.
Yeah, so Beyond Blue is available for free April 20th to April 27th. Never Alone, 20th through 27th. Breath Edge, 27th through May 4th. And Poker Club, I can't talk, April 27th to May 4th. I have never heard of any of these games, so I don't know how good they are, but they're free, so check them out.
Yeah, that's Epic with their cliche free games, and they're going to charge you in game for different type of stuff.
That's what Epic does,
Right?
and they make good
It's,
money from it.
it's very true. Because I mean, I remember. I mean, there's a huge difference from whenever Rocket League was a paid game till now.
Oh, yeah, completely different because I don't think they had any season passes or anything when it was a paid game, did they?
Nope.
I didn't think so. I thought that was, I mean, that's an Epic thing, obviously, but I thought it was added after Epic took over.
I mean, obviously they had the microtransactions, so you could, buy skins for your car or whatever you wanted to do.
Right, but it wasn't part of like a season pass like Fortnite is.
No, but that's pretty much Epic's MO is, hey,
Yeah,
yeah, we're going to release all these games for free, but all these microtransactions is how we're going to make our money from it. Of course,
yeah,
it's free to play. You can earn all that stuff slowly but surely,
right.
but it's going to take a lot longer than just buying it right out.
Epic should have refunded everybody that bought the game their money.
Yeah, I feel offended at this point from it. Still,
How much did you pay for it?
I paid a full 60. I
Was it
bought it
60?
pretty much brand new.
I only paid $10 for it, so I'm not as offended.
Yeah, no, I bought it. I think year after it came out.
Yeah, I bought it when it was pretty older and was on sale on the Xbox store, so picked it up $10.
Still a great game. I mean,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
enjoy playing it
it's
much now
fun.
since Epic, but I enjoyed it from the get go whenever I first got it.
I mean, I don't mind it even now. It's still fun. It's just something for me, it's something I want to play once in a while. I don't want to play it all the time, which Fortnite's the same way. I play it once in a while, depending on what season, if the season's stupid or not.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess it's a little bit harder for Rocket League to fumble the season game than
Right.
what it is for story wise, just because
It's pretty much the
Fortnite
same.
actually has to implement a story while Rocket League is just like, oh no, right here's a soccer ball, right here's a car, go get it.
I will say they need to fix the mechanics on that stupid hoop one, because that don't make any sense.
Oh yeah,
That is
yeah.
not basketball. They need to make it more like basketball. The mechanics on that's broken.
I will say it's easier to shoot on that thing than what it is in 2K.
You say it's easier to shoot on there than 2K?
I definitely make more jump shots on that than what I do in 2K.
Well, you also have a center build, so
Eh, it don't matter.
they don't matter. You're supposed to be busting threes with a 7-3 center.
Yes, I am. You know
Okay.
how I feel about that.
All right.
All right, we'll knock out this last topic. We'll actually get through all of them today. Uh, Destiny 2 uh, failed to release the patch notes to the community.
Yeah. What a good thing to do, huh?
That's
Yeah.
right.
The source here is Game Rant. Yeah, it says Bungie appears to have failed to disclose a number of important Destiny 2 changes that dropped as part of the game's mid-season content update. As these changes contain a number of Guardian ability nerfs, which is a big no, This has led to a substantial amount of criticism from the player base, with many fans believing that the situation was not an accident, obviously. Though most players were initially looking forward to Destiny 2's mid-season rebalancing pass due to a number of weapon buffs and other assorted meta improvements, it seems that these came with a cost. Notably, Bungie released a post-launch patch note opinion via Twitter during almost a dozen non-insignificant changes that weren't included in the full release document. So after they didn't release any patch notes, they came and dropped like two that had nothing to do with anything. They didn't say they nerfed any guardian abilities or any weapon abilities or anything. They just it was useless for them to even come out on Twitter and say anything. It just made players even more mad at them. They should have just left it and not said anything. But Sony bought Bungie, and maybe it was Sony's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's usually something you want to tell your players is if you're going to, be nerfing their builds pretty much.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, I suck and work more than usual.
I mean
Oh
that's
yeah, we didn't get told about the patch notes.
Destiny's been out 5 or 6 years, and the abilities have been pretty much the same, and you're just now going to nerf them. If I've been playing this game hardcore for 5 or 6 years, and you come out and mess up my build, I'm gonna be upset.
Oh yeah, they had every right to be mad.
Yeah, I mean I have Destiny 2, but I didn't put a lot of time into it. But I know a lot of people have, and I would be very upset, and I'd expect him to change it back, or at least make it better. I mean, make my build the way it close to the way it was. If you can't, I mean, I know it's online. Some's more powerful than the others. That's fine or whatever. Nerfed it a little bit, but not too drastically.
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, if it is a 5, 6, 7-year-old game, why change it now?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
what's the matter
pretty
now?
much. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Destiny 3 is probably right around the brings. We're just waiting to hear news from it.
They should. I
I'm
mean,
sure it's there's no doubt in my mind that it's at least being developed. It's not necessarily anywhere close to being released yet, but which I think they're close enough for their quote unquote 10-year plan that they never have the first game for them to be like, okay, yeah, we can go ahead and switch over to another game and not feel bad for it.
yeah. Well, the first one was supposed to go 10 years, but it didn't, and then the second one, it's going on 5, 6. So I mean, together, yeah, they got over 10 years. So I mean, they should probably come out with a third one. But I mean, they just probably keep pumping DLC out for it, and people will buy it. So
Mm.
it's kind of like Mario Kart 8. It's been out 10, 11 years, and they just, hey, here's DLC, some more tracks, and people are like, oh, okay. It's every single week. It's in the top 10 of people buying the game. I mean, they're not going to release a new one until people stop buying it.
Yeah, which at that point with Mario Kart, it'd be like, what's hard to release? Because you'd have to do like a Smash Brothers thing, and you'd literally have to have all the tracks at one time, plus different tracks that you haven't seen before. Because at this point, Mario Kart 8 has seen probably 80% of all the Mario Kart tracks from the past.
Yeah, and the DLC is bringing some from the past and a little bit of new ones. So I mean, yeah, you need some new courses and bring all the old ones back. Don't hold any out on us. And I mean, give us new characters. I mean, yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has like Link and Inkling and Animal Crossing and characters from that. I mean, but bring us the Smash characters like Snake, bring us Sonic and players like that, maybe.
Yeah. Well, one thing Nintendo hasn't done, they haven't done unreleased patch notes for Mario Kart.
Yeah, they at least tell them what's going on.
They at least give them a warning.
Yeah. I mean, they still might not like it, but they're at least telling them, hey, this is what's happening, instead of just doing it and not telling anybody, and then people's mad that you do that, and then you release 2 patch notes has nothing to do with what actually happened. That makes people even more mad.
Like, ooh, you suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we finally met through all the topics for the first time in like a month.
It's been a while.
Make sure to follow us on all our socials.
Yep. Me
Can't even
on
think like
Twitch, YouTube, Kick.
right. Support Ash in 2 ways.
That's right. I won't be streaming this weekend. I have family in, but I'll try to be back streaming next weekend.
Right. We'll be here to watch you.
You've never watched me. Quit lying.
Never watch your stream. I'll watch your YouTube
I know.
videos. But
It's a Colin's
most of the time,
liar. He's a liar. Don't let him lie to you. He don't support me on Twitch, just YouTube.
I barely support you on a podcast. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right. Later, guys.
See you guys next week.